Hello everyone, this is the walkthrough through the week 5 lab, the photosynthesis and respiration lab. You're going to want to start on this as soon as possible because you have to get plants and stuff. I think you even need to start on the week 7 lab really soon. It should tell you in the syllabus, and I'm just being lazy and not looking. Let me pause it, I'll go check. You do the preparation for the week 7 labs in week 6. Took a while to find, but it is there. Okay, so this is going to be the normal. You're going to do photosynthesis and respiration, and we're going to have, as always, the rubric and the formatted version of the lab that you'll be filling out. I have the original version, which is just hideous. Just so bad, so bad. And then we'll be sharing information about discussion E data table as well as observation tables if you wish to. Let me pause this and we will throw up the rubric. Here's the rubric for the lab. There's only one this week, yay! And it's going to have 3 exercises, half a point for observations, and then 0.75 point for complete sentences, okay? As you can tell, I always try to give you some points for observations, so if you get some points, it should be hopefully pretty nice. Okay, let's go over and check the lab itself, and I will pull up my answer key for week 5 photosynthesis. Woohoo! Okay, so my tablet is being difficult about uploading the answer key because why should it not be difficult, right? Okay, finally did it. So first you have the title page like always. This is week 5. I can upload everything. And then put your name, everything. So over here, this is a table that you might share if you so choose. My computer is asking me things. Let me pause this while I figure out what my computer wants me to do. This is all an example about how human beings can't multitask. We only serial task. Okay, so you're going to have your different colors up here. And tells you how to measure everything. So you'll fill it in, be all pretty with the different colors and everything. Then for this one will be the rates. So how far did it travel? How long? Well, you did 10 minutes for all of them, right? So you should be fine. Then you have the answer, was it happening? Then you add some stuff in and see what happens. You only have to say, was it happening? Okay. Then we do table 3. Which apparently randomly isn't in my answer sheet. So it's going to be your rate result. Oh, because it's just a summation and the average of the other ones, which hopefully we'll share, right? Then we have our table 4, which is our color, the time in minutes. So 0, 1 minute is the difference of it. And this may be slightly different for everyone, so don't freak out. And table 5 will be much the similar. This is your results, the average of the other students. So hopefully we'll all share all this stuff so we can compare and contrast and make life easier, right? So then we're going to talk about chlorophyll, because the photosynthesis part. And it's going to tell you about how it's done, how you recorded them. You're going to construct a stack graph. So stack graph is going to be a bar graph where it's all on top of each other. So you'll have different colors and it will look like your pigment paper. So the darker color will be how far it moved, you know, and then how much the pigment 2 moves. So it's the same distance, but like it'll be a little bit higher. If you're confused, Google it and then create below. Or ask me and I will Google it and show you a picture, okay? Because it's a little confusing. Once you see it, it will totally make sense. I could Google it now, but that would be too helpful. Okay, then let's go down. We identify the areas. Why or why not? We produce. So the radicchio leaves, I have given you what's in here, and you're just going to compare versus these pictures, okay? Because for some reason it wasn't in there originally, and we talk about all that stuff, right? Then discussion. What's your initial hypothesis? Was it supported or not? Your answers may vary for all this stuff. What might explain the separation of colors? So why does some stuff move farther? What's the why? Think about that. And then compare, why might things be a little different? Why might they be the same, kind of thing. Conversion of light energy to plants. So now we're more onto our photosynthesis. First we're on the chlorophyll, right? Now we're on photosynthesis more. So then talk about what happens, which organelle is responsible. So where might your chlorophyll be found? Derive, what's the purpose of the light? What does it do? You might want to look into photosynthesis if you don't remember. Which responsible organelle is responsible. This is for the carbon dioxide stuff. This will be covered in the lab manual if I remember correctly. Otherwise, you can Google it to make sure you have it all down. When in doubt, Google is our friend. G, set up a table, stick a new table below. Name at least 3 experimental variables that could explain the outcome. So why might yours be different? We're all not going to be the same. You're dealing with a plant. Plants aren't chemicals, just like animals aren't chemicals, so there's going to be some variation. But beyond that, or including that, what are some other stuff that could have changed up, you know? And then think about, when you're doing this, think about the variables we've talked about, like pH and temperature and the other stuff from the previous labs, and if any of those, and read the lab manual, it goes into stuff. Okay, then is you do the little equation and you show your work, because if you do something wrong, get the wrong answer, but you have the right equations up to that, I'm happy. And we're going to convert stuff into, what do we convert it into? Oh, just into the whatever. It's kind of easy, right? And then how long would the plant need to photosynthesize a liter of oxygen? So you did it in micro, right? So now we're talking about liter. So we go through our hypothesis. We always go through our hypothesis. Propose another experiment. There's a controversial. So here's where you're going to want your reference. Was that in the other? Oh, whatever. I was going to say, did I tell you how to have a reference in the rubric? Not sure. You probably do, though, here, right? And then the tropics, particularly important to oxygen production. When I tell you need a citation, it just means I doubt you know it off the top of your head. And, you know, for this kind of stuff, it's always good to have backup. Remember, citations are used to support you. So you say what you think, and then you bring in this evidence through a citation. So you don't want the citation there, and then you support it. You want the other way around, right? And then more on that kind of stuff. And then we talk about respiration in plants. So we did the photosynthesis. Now we're doing the cellular respiration. Remember, cellular respiration occurs in plants and animals. Plants just get the photosynthesis too, because they can make the food, energy, convert the light to food. Animals have to take in the food. So why was it in? What gas did you use? How do you know? Just curious. Then there's a hint. What's the color? Write the equation from your lab manual reading. That means you'll probably find it in your lab manual. So go look there. Don't recreate the wheel. That's why I always say read the lab manual, read the questions, then do the experiment. And in fact, I would be so much to read the lab manual and the questions. If I found answers that I thought from the lab manual went into here, I would just like quickly, type in more or less in what page to check on, because then it's already done, right? And you just don't have to worry about that, Or if you kind of say, okay, this should happen, that should happen, and you can compare and contrast. Just makes life easier. Do whatever it takes to make life easier. So what's the gas? And then what gas is going away? This is kind of going to be the same as respiration. So what's produced? What goes away? Then we have the process occurring in the first trial. You observe what gas is produced for J. So that's to be the opposite. And then respiration, which took longer. And why? Then we have a discussion. I think this one's not too bad. How did the time change? Yeah, what might explain this? Why do both plants and animals respire, meaning breathe out, right? Would life be possible without respiration? What's the initial hypothesis? It's to the point where you should just always expect that question. What does it indicate? How did you control for heat? Another table. I could start putting tables in there. I may put tables in the next classes. Labs, but that doesn't help you. Okay, similar, explain your data. Different, check, that's fine. Okay, so then we're going to have some weird plants that are not photosynthetic. And you talk about them, they'll be in your book, and I believe they're in your lab manual too. If you can't find them, that is a great thing to look online. And then do they expire? Do they still breathe out effectively? And then what did you learn? Hopefully you learned about photosynthesis and respiration in plants. Right. I hope this helps. A lot of this is just like, let's walk through it, feel comfortable with the information. Labs are always kind of stressful, so just do what it takes to feel comfortable. So, see you for the next assignment.